Hey guys, this is Corey with Full House MMA. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It gives me an idea of seeing who my audience is, who it is that I'm talking to, and it helps me know what kind of videos to make as well. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Other than that, let's get to some fights, because I just want to say that it comes a time in a man's life when he makes a video about something and then 2 days later, the very thing he made the video about comes true. I just have this kind of sense of pride, which is the reason for the smile on my face, because I kind of predicted the main event last night, down to the method of finish and almost even the round that it was finished. So I'm pretty proud that I made that prediction. I'm not proud for Johnny Walker being the recipient of this knockout from last night, he being 1-4 in his last 5 fights. So that is somewhat of a concern from his perspective. But let's talk a little bit about what happened last night. So if you guys don't know this as well, I also do short videos, and most of them are like highlight reel knockouts, that sort of thing. I woke up this morning, and for 2 videos that I've only had up for 10-12 hours, I already had well over 1,500 hits between both of the 2 of those videos. So that's for a reason. The reason that traffic is there is because I make good content. So if you enjoy the content that goes back to what I just said, please subscribe. That would really help me out a lot if you would do that. Last night, a few good things happened. We had Kyle Dawkins with the blood choke win. And that's something we just don't see, that sort of finish in the octagon very often. Kyle's older brother, Chris, lost recently to Derek Lewis, so I'm sure that was good from the Dawkins' perspective to get a win back up under their belt. Now, one of the big things that I wanted to talk about, this is one of my short videos as well, the legend himself, Jim Miller, in his 38th UFC fight. This guy has more total UFC fights than any other UFC fighter at this point. A close second behind him is Andrei Arlovsky with 37. And Jim Miller comes in there and teaches these young kids the way it's done with a step-in right hook, finishes his opponent. Just absolutely an amazing performance by Jim Miller, especially for being his 38th fight. I'm in my 40s, so it's kind of a little bit of vindication for us older guys that, we still got it, man. We can still get it done. Jim Miller definitely was able to get it done last night, so I was super proud of him. You have Chad the Monster and Helliger with an amazing knockout. This was a night of the right hooks. Lastly, guys, and I'm sorry, but this is the one I predicted. Jamahal Hill versus Johnny Walker. What I alluded to in the video, that it's not his physical traits, it's not his lack of fighting skill and his physical ability. We all know that he's gifted in all of those areas, but there is something going on right now with Johnny Walker. And listen, my college degree was in human development. From a psychological perspective, I can tell when a guy is really going through something up here. And Johnny Walker's really been struggling. I mean, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. This guy's way too talented to be losing 4 fights out of his last 5 fights. A guy who is so wealthy in talent would be so poor in wins over the past 5 fights. So, that's something that I talked a little bit about in the video, and unfortunately, it came to fruition. I felt like he was in there trying to, just a little bit overzealous, trying to take off the head of Jamahal Hill. And Jamahal Hill is just a sharp shooting sniper in there, has a great stand-up boxing technique, and I just had a feeling his punches were going to be able to get there. He had, slight speed advantage and whatnot over Walker as well. So I just kind of had this feeling that was going to happen, that Johnny Walker was going to walk into something and get caught. And that's exactly what happened. Now, it was a glancing blow, which I think surprised a lot of people, because it wasn't a direct impact. It kind of skipped off the top of his head. If you want to see this knockout, I have it in my short video, so go check out my shorts and you can see it there. It was a glancing blow, but it was enough to put Johnny Walker down. And not only that, but we've talked about too, What is going on with him psychologically? I think he's going in there, plus because he had all of this hype behind him before. Now he's going in there trying to get back some of this hype that he's been losing with these recent losses of his, because this sport has a short-term memory. And as you know, when a fighter, it's not what have you done for me, it's what have you done for me lately. He's 18-7 overall in his MMA career, but he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights in the UFC. So, you know, he's a tall guy, he's 6'6". You know, it has crossed my mind, is he having trouble making this weight? And that's one of the reasons that, you know, it seems that his chin has completely left him. It's just hard to say with Johnny Walker, but I think it's definitely safe to say that it's up here, man. It's mental, it's psychological. My advice to Johnny Walker is, hey, man, there's no shame in it. Go see you a sports psychologist, sit down, talk with your family, see if maybe you need to go up and move up to a different weight class. He's fighting at light heavyweight, and this guy's 6'6". You know, and he's a pretty well-muscled guy as well. So it makes you think maybe he's having a little bit of trouble, because you know when these guys are really dehydrated and they dehydrate themselves down to make that low weight like that, a lot of times there's just no water on the brain. The wind of a punch literally can knock some of these guys down, and it seems like that's what we've been seeing with Johnny Walker. And unfortunately, I think at this point, losing the last 4 out of his last 5 fights, I believe that he's going to have to sit down with his team, possibly a sports psychologist, and see where he needs to go from here, man, because he is just too talented to, you know, be losing 80% of his fights. So, you know, that's where we're at with him. I did predict this. I'm just saying, I did predict it. Now, I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much, because I think to a lot of folks who really follow the sport closely, you know, it was expected that Jamahal Hill would win the fight, but I'm just saying, I predicted that pretty close, guys. That's what happened last night. I called this a sleeper fight and a sleeper card because people were sleeping on this card. There was not a lot of promotion going behind it, but this was one of those sneaky good cards that just had you every 10-15 minutes, just go look at my shorts, all of the finishes that I got on video last night while watching that one fight card. So it was an amazing card, despite of it just being a fight night in between the pay-per-views. Sometimes these fight nights, man, are better than the pay-per-views themselves. They might not have the competitor name value on them, but sometimes you can catch a really sneaky good UFC fight night, and last night was one of those. All right, so listen, guys, I appreciate you watching Full House MMA. Please like and subscribe to the video so you can get notifications when I have a new video out, and I just really appreciate your guys' support, and I will see you next time.